Welcome to Yoga for Equestrians. My name's Kiera. Join me for a hip mobility practice. For today, we'll be needing 1 bolster and 2 blocks. Join me on your mat and we'll get started. To start out practice, we'll make our way down onto our backs. And we'll just take a moment here to connect in. If you'd like, feel free to extend your legs. You can even rest the bolster underneath your knees. Allowing the arms to rest wherever most comfortable. And we take the time here to connect in, to start to settle in on our mats, noticing all the points where your body meets the mat beneath you. And can you allow yourself to sink in? Softening through the forehead, all the tiny muscles surrounding the eyes, unclenching through the jaw, shoulders drop away from the ears and become heavy. The belly and chest naturally rising and falling with the breath. And feet falling apart naturally. We start to tune into the breath here. Noticing each inhale and each exhale. With every inhale, can you expand through your belly? With every exhale, notice the softening that happens in the tissues. Continuing for the next few rounds here. If thoughts are starting to come in, acknowledge them, but choose to come back to the present moment. Choose to come back to the breath. Giving yourself the space and time for intentional movement. We'll shift things slightly in taking 3 cleansing breaths. So when you're ready, taking a deep inhale, expand through the belly, through the rib cage and through the chest, holding the breath at the top for a moment, and exhale through the mouth, sigh it out. We'll take 2 more rounds just like that. Inhale deeply. Holding at the top, continue to let your muscles relax. And exhale through the mouth, let it go. One more time, inhale. And hold. Exhale, let it go. Coming back to your natural breath here, notice how you feel. We'll start to bring some gentle movement into the body, maybe wiggling fingers and toes, circling the wrists and ankles. And then reaching the arms up overhead, taking a full body stretch. Reach with the toes, reach with the fingers. And on the exhale, hugging the knees in towards the chest as we wrap the arms around the shins. Feel free to stay in stillness here, or you might choose to gently rock side to side, massaging the lower back onto the mat beneath you. Coming back through center, we'll release both feet down. If your bolster was underneath your knees, just kicking it forward so we have space. Coming to a reclined figure 4, we'll cross the right ankle over our left thigh. Option to stay here as you gently press your right knee away from you. Or if you'd like, you can interlace your hands behind your left hamstring, starting to draw your left knee in towards the chest. Find your breath here. Visualizing the exhale moving into any places of tension. With your next exhale, we'll release our left foot down to the mat as we open our arms to either T-shape or to cactus arms, where the elbows would be at 90 degrees. Keeping the legs where they are, we'll take an inhale together. With the exhale, we start to shift both of our legs over to the left edge of the mat, coming into a spinal twist here. So you'll notice that the bottom of your right foot comes down to the floor. You might even choose to gaze the opposite direction of your legs. Taking one more slow, deep breath. No need to rush through it. And with your inhale, we'll move the legs back through center, uncrossing our right ankle from our thigh. We'll take a little reset, so feel free to extend the legs and arms for that full body stretch. And then exhale, arms come down by our side as we bend the knees. We set up for the other side here. So bottom of the right foot to the mat, we'll cross the left ankle over our right thigh. Option to be here, or we start to draw the right knee into the chest. Taking long, slow exhales. And seeing here if you can allow the shoulders to really drop away from the ears, almost allowing the weight of your leg to draw them down. Here for one more breath. Inhale deeply. And exhale to let it go. We'll set up for our reclined twist here, releasing the right foot down to the mat, arms open to a T-shape or cactus arms. We'll inhale together. Exhale as we release the legs over to the right edge of the mat. This time, bottom of the left foot is coming down to the floor. You might even start to notice here a difference between your left and right sides. And simply noticing, there's no need for judgment here. By noticing the sensations that occur in the body when we practice, we can start to cultivate a sense of body awareness. Sometimes we have to take different modifications depending on the sides of the body. With this awareness, we also start to understand where our body is in space. This is called proprioception. And this is a really great tool for when we are riding. On your next inhale, we'll start to draw the legs back through center, uncrossing our ankle from our thigh. This time, feel free to bring the knees back into the chest. Here for Apanasana, knees to chest pose. You might find a gentle rock side to side. Coming back to center here, we'll keep our right knee hugged in towards the chest as we extend our left leg out. From here, slightly rocking the right knee side to side. Even these small little movements can help bring blood flow into the tissues. And coming back to stillness here, we set up for a half happy baby. So reaching with our right hand to the outer edge of our right foot, we'll start to point the bottom of the foot towards the ceiling as we draw our right knee down towards the floor. We stay nice and open through the chest here. And again, that exhale is truly magic when we start to tap into these stretches and shapes. Allow that exhale to become longer and slower than the inhale. One more breath here. We'll release our half happy baby, extending the right leg out, switching sides here, drawing the left knee into the chest. Starting to sway the left knee side to side. You might even draw circles. If you're drawing circles, changing that direction. Coming back to center, we find our half happy baby. We reach for the outer edge of the foot. And know that if you can't reach for the outer edge, you can also interlace the hands behind the hamstring. With your next exhale, we'll release our half happy baby. From here, rolling over to one side, whichever is most comfortable for you, we'll find a fetal position just for a breath or two. And then whenever you're ready, pressing into that top hand, we'll come up to a seated position. Now, we will be using our props, so bringing them nice and close by so you don't have to reach too far for them. And we'll be meeting in a butterfly. Baddha Konasana, bottoms of the feet come together here. We start to open through the hips. If you're finding that you want the support of your blocks underneath your knees, either on a medium or low setting, feel free to do so. From here, we'll be bringing our bolster over top of the feet so that the edge of the bolster rests against our shins. Coming in to a fold here, we'll start to allow the spine to round as we meld down over our bolster. If you're finding that you want extra support, you could even stack a block underneath the forehead here. So there's lots of different ways to use your props to support your body. In yin yoga, we want to support our bodies. We will be holding these shapes for longer periods of time. So to signal to our body that it's okay to start releasing any tension, we use the support. Allow the head to become heavy. Checking in with the muscles of your face here. Can you start to soften through the forehead? Soften through the jaw. Through the stillness of this pose, you might notice your mind wandering off. And this is normal, but can you choose to come back to the present moment? Be with the breath. Be with the sensations happening in the body. Can you find 5 more slow breaths? When that feels complete for you, we'll start to slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, extending through the spine, taking a nice deep breath at the top. Moving our bolster aside for now. If you have blocks, we'll move them aside as well. Extending the legs, feel free to take a little reset, maybe windshield wiping the feet side to side, or any other movement that would feel good in your body. Our next shape is called shoelace. So we're gonna start in half shoelace. So we'll extend the right leg. From here, crossing our left foot over our right leg, we'll start to hug our left ankle towards our right hip. Then we allow our left knee to drop down towards our extended leg. So this is option 1. This is called half shoelace. Now this might be enough sensation for you. You might be in your healthy edge. If not, we'll start to melt forwards once again, rounding the spine. Head becomes heavy. Now, option for support is bringing a block underneath the forehead. Once you're in half shoelace, if you're looking for a little bit more sensation, there's an option to come into full shoelace. So essentially, we'll be wrapping our extended leg to the opposite hip. So wrapping our right leg towards our left hip. The knees start to stack on top of one another. And then from here you have the option to hinge and melt forwards. Again, you might find support from your props. Shoelace here is an internal rotation of the hips. There's not many poses in yoga that works with this, but for us as horseback riders, this is super beneficial. Longer, deeper, smoother breaths here. Relaxing through the face muscles. Relaxing through the shoulders. Here for 5 more deep breaths. There's no need to rush here. next inhale, we'll start to roll up, supporting that left leg in coming off. And then we can bring our right leg out. Again, taking any movement that would feel good for you, really trusting in what your body is asking of you. There's no right or wrong way. And then we'll start to set up for the other side. So we'll start in our half shoelace. Left leg extends. Our right leg comes over. And we'll start to release our right knee down towards that bottom leg, hugging our right foot into the left hip. So again, if this is enough for you, you're welcome to stay here. You're welcome to melt forward. Or you're finding that full shoelace as you wrap the left leg around to the right hip. Find the support if you need it. Once again, taking note here on what side feels maybe a little bit more tense than the other. You might even start to notice that it plays out in your riding. So just become aware, and as you continue to do these practices, it'll start to improve. Here for just 3 more breaths. With your next inhale, we'll make our way back up. Support that top leg in coming off. Again, find your version of a reset, whatever it might be. There's no need to follow what I'm doing. Swinging your feet around one side, hips around the other. We'll meet in a tabletop position. We'll remove our bolster aside just for now and actually bring our hands up onto blocks on the medium setting. From tabletop position, we'll just find a little spinal reset, moving into some rounds of cat and cow. So inhale as we open through the chest, belly drops down to the mat. Exhale as we round the spine, pressing the mat away from us. Feel free to flow here at your own pace. If one feels better than the other, you're welcome to stay there. Just finding one more full round. Next, we're going to be coming into a low lunge. So option 1 is just stepping that right foot forward. Option 2, if you're looking for a little bit more space, could be coming up to a high kneel as you step your right foot forward like so. We'll be bringing our hands down to the blocks and then walking our right foot out to the edge of the mat. We bring our right hand to the inner foot. Here for what's called dragon pose. Finding a little flow here, we're going to move between half split and dragon as we rock the hips to the back edge of the mat, extending through the right leg. Inhale as we come forwards into dragon, bending through the right knee. Exhale, half split, rock the hips back. Inhale, dragon. One more time here, exhale. And inhale for dragon, bending through the knee. Taking one more cleansing breath here, inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Walking our right foot back to the midline, we frame our foot once again with our hands. And then tucking the back toes and lifting the back knee, we're gonna press into our left hand. As we come into a lunge twist, we inhale to reach the right arm up to the ceiling. Find your breath, extend through the fingertips. And exhale to frame the front foot once again. Lowering that back knee, we'll step our right foot to meet our left in tabletop position. With our exhale, we'll find a child's pose to reset. Feel free to keep the hands up on the blocks or bringing them down to the mat. Release the forehead down to the floor. Gently pressing into the palms of the hands to lengthen the spine, bringing the sit bones closer towards the ankles. And with your next inhale, we'll float back up to our tabletop position. Hands come back to the blocks if you took them off. Stepping the left foot forward this time for our low lunge. We walk the left foot out to the edge as we bring our left hand to the inner foot. Here for our dragon pose. Start to deepen the breath. Checking in with your lower back here. Can you really lengthen through the spine? One more breath before finding our half split flow. With your next exhale, we rock the hips back for half split. Inhale for dragon. Exhale, half split, moving with lots of intention here. Inhale. Exhale one more time, half split. Inhale for dragon. One goodbye cleansing breath. Inhale deeply. And exhale through the mouth. Walking our left foot into the midline, we frame our front foot. Tucking our right toes, lifting our back knee. We set up for our lunge twist here as we reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Really grounding into your bottom right hand. Find the breath. Open through the heart space, let it shine up towards the ceiling. And exhale, releasing our hand back down to the block. We lower the back knee. We'll step our left foot to meet our right for our tabletop position. And exhale, we find our reset child's pose. Inhale to float back up to tabletop position. We're gonna set up for Malasana or yogi squat. So placing the blocks aside, we'll bring our bolster back into play. From here, coming to a seated position on our bolster, we start to open the knees wider than hip width distance apart, bringing our elbows into the inner knees. Pressing the palms of the hands together. We start to lengthen through the spine. Tucking the chin slightly down towards the chest. Start to find a belly breath. With the inhale, let the belly be soft. Let the belly expand. Our elbows from the inner thighs. We're going to start to bring some movement into our right knee. So with the exhale, we start to drop our right knee down towards the mat. With the inhale, we open it back up. Then we do the other side. So exhale, release the left knee to the floor. Inhale to open it back up. This can be sometimes a bit of a mobility challenge for some. So exhale to release the right knee down to the floor. Inhale back up. Now I do challenge you to see if you can do it without bringing your hands down for support, but if you need the support, of course, use it. Exhale, knee down. Inhale, the knee opens. One more time on each side. Exhale, knee down. Inhale, open. Exhale, releasing the knee to the floor. Inhale to open. And then we'll bring our hands back to prayer, elbows pressing into the knees. Find one cleansing breath here. Inhale deeply. And exhale through the mouth. With your next exhale, pressing through the feet, we'll start to lift the hips up. Head sinks down for a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Head comes in line with the heart. Exhale, forward folds. Planting the hands to the ground, we'll step the legs back for a tabletop position. Make our way back down onto our spines. So bringing your bolster close by so you can reach it. We'll be coming into a supported bridge pose. So bottoms of the feet resting on the mat, knees are bent. From here, pressing through the feet, lifting the hips up. We're going to start to slide our bolster right underneath the sacrum or lower back. Feel free to adjust around, get nice and comfy here. And then opening the arms to cactus, elbows at 90 degrees. Settling into our bridge pose. Allowing the spine to decompress. Option here to walk the feet out distance of the mat and allow the knees to drop in towards each other for constructive rest. This creates just a little bit more space between the lower vertebrae of the spine. Option here to extend both of the legs out. This feels good for some and not for others, so trust in what your body is asking of you. Here for just a few more breaths. Regardless of where you are, we're going to meet with our left leg extended. We'll start to hug our right knee in towards our chest. Opening up through the hip flexors here. I invite you to flex through your left foot, almost as if there was an invisible wall you could press the bottom of the foot into. Notice how that might change sensations through your flexor. With your next inhale, we'll start to switch legs, extending the right leg, drawing the left knee into the chest. Flexing through the bottom of the right foot this time. 2 more breaths. With your next inhale, draw both knees back into the chest. Here you might choose to gently rock side to side, massaging the low back on the bolster. Coming back to stillness and extending the bottoms of the feet up towards the ceiling for supported waterfall. You might choose to open the arms once again. Allow the knees to be soft here. And exhale, slowly bending through the knees and releasing the bottoms of the feet down to the mat. Pressing up through the hips, we'll slide our bolster out and away. Setting up here for Shavasana, feel free to place the bolster back underneath the knees, getting nice and comfy. You might even choose to come to a reclined butterfly. Resting your arms where they're most comfortable. Just taking account for how you feel. From the moment you began this practice to now, are there any subtle or big differences? We soften through the forehead, the space between the brows, all the tiny muscles surrounding the eyes. As the jaw unclenches, the shoulders and arms become heavy. Breath falls naturally once again. The hips release, legs begin to get heavy. Nothing to do here, nowhere to be. Here to integrate your practice today. Enjoy your Shavasana, and I will call you back when it's time. Slowly here, beginning to wiggle through the fingers and toes. You might gently move the head side to side. Maybe reaching those arms overhead, extending the legs, taking one last full body stretch. Opportunity here to find any movement you might be craving. And then eventually rolling over to one comfortable side. Finding fetal position for a breath or two. Fully letting your practice soak in. And pressing into the top hand, coming up to seated. Bringing your hands to heart center. You might choose to close the eyes. I like to close out practice in taking the longest, slowest, and deepest breath yet of today. As you do this, giving yourself a moment of gratitude for showing up on your mats, for taking this time to slow down, to connect in. I thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.